Happy Easter, everybody. We welcome you into the first weekend recap series where the Red Sox split a series against the Seattle Mariners to open up 2024. So, very pleased with the beginning portions of how we did against a Seattle Mariners rotation, which could be one of the best in baseball. Again, I say could be because it's early and we want to see where we're heading and everything. But could have been 3-1, could have been 1-3, could have been a whole lot of different things. I don't know about you, Brendan, but I'm at least leaving semi satisfied with the early beginnings of our season here.
Yeah, Nick, definitely feeling a little bit of optimism. Splitting against a set of stud rotation. Gilbert and Kirby are the highlights over there, but Castillo as well is really good. The bats had their work cut out for them most of this series, but honestly, the pitching kept them in it. Andrew Bailey looks like an upgrade right now. This was the shaky start that was supposed to be with Garrett Whitlock, who was about 60 pitches into the third inning. But he gets through it, gets through 5 with 8 strikeouts. The bullet slider looks pretty good. And yeah, Garrett Whitlock, he had a good game. And the offense showed up and showed out. It was a great performance by them today.
So Whitlock and the rest of the rotation, outstanding beginnings here. I mean, it began with opening night for Bayo. Then we had the masterpiece Nick Pivetta threw, and he was the tough luck loser in the Friday night game. And then you saw Cutter Crawford yesterday, who again, masterclass again,
Yeah.
did his job. And Whitlock again here does his. Up until, I believe, the ninth inning, we saw the following statistics. Let's see. So the Sox starters for the series went 22 innings pitched, 14 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs, 1 walk. That is the biggest stat right there to me. 1 walk.
Yeah.
Huge. 27 Ks with a 164 earned run average. I knew that there would be an improvement from Dave Bush to Andrew Bailey, but I didn't think that we would see this so early on. It's the first 4 games. We're not going to throw a party and put a trophy up in Fenway Park for Bailey yet. But compared to what we've seen in years past with Dave Bush as their pitching coach, this looks like it's a recipe for success. That's number 1 for me. So my big takeaway from the weekend is on the positive front. Pitching, starting pitching in particular, looks great. And that is a very good sign against a Seattle team that should be pretty good. The big problem here, though, and I get that there's some people saying the sky is not falling, don't worry about it, it's the first 4 games. The offense is a problem. I understand Devers was out for 2 games, but what you're dealing with here without Devers is putting Trevor Story into a 3 spot, Tristan Casas into a 4 spot, and Jarren Duran up as your leadoff hitter, who is also off to a horrid start. These are issues, and if these issues continue long term, this will not go over well in Boston.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, Rafi Devers is taking a huge load to carry this offense. Valdez, he had a huge bomb. That was really good to see. He's the more offensive option at second right now. But you're totally right. Casas, he had a tough break yesterday with the terrible strike zone, but Trevor Story and Jarren Duran are expanding the zone, and Jarren Duran especially is chasing the sinker that's outside, and that's the tape on him right now. He cannot lay off the sinker outside. Trevor Story, it's always the fastball high. He always bites on that. Those two have been tough. Story got 2 hits today, so I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass. But honestly, through the first stretch of it, yikes, not good. Not what you want to see.
I'm going to do my best with trying to live tweet and also interact as much as I can when games are going on to also give fans a take on what my feelings are, what my take is, how the game is going from everything. And my biggest thing that I have been at for 48 hours right now is I cannot for the love of me right now figure out what is Trevor Story worth to the Red Sox right now. I can't figure it out because I see a player here that looks destined to be benched if it continues the way he does by June 1st, and Pablo Reyes will be at shortstop. That is not an ideal situation. That is not what you want to see. I want to be like we talked about with Pat when we were on the show. If I'm the guy that you need to put a bulletin board up and throw darts at and say, well, this clown from Boston thinks I stink, go at it. Because right now, I got to call it as it is. Trevor Story is a worse alternative than Julio Lugo and Steven Drew from years past.
The Drew comparison, good Lord. That takes me
It
back.
is worse. I
Yeah.
would rather have Alex Gonzalez from 2006 as my shortstop right now. Full stop. Full stop. That's how I feel right now.
Oh
That
my.
is how much faith I do not have in Story. I know you're a big Casas guy, Brendan, but you know what? I need the brakes on right now. I need the brakes. I am sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of it. Stop building this guy's statue right now. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this whole media
Oh yeah, I know.
giving Casas the MVP already. He doesn't even belong to be hitting fourth in this lineup. He doesn't. And the other one I want to say is I am concerned on Jaron Duran. I am very concerned on that one. The reason I am, again, it's the mental side of the game. It's forgetting about whatever else is going on in your life, finding a green light, taking a deep breath, and getting your job done, getting in the box and delivering. You can't just see him go up there chasing balls left and right, in the dirt, up and in, way out of the strike zone, and he just looks so overmatched right now. Early beginnings. That's just my takeaway from stuff. I hope from a week from now we're singing a different tune and Duran goes on a huge hitting streak. Same goes with Story and Casas, and I can shut up. But I just have to call it as I see right now. That's how we go. What is your performance on a managerial stance from Alex Cora this series? Give me that.
Look, the Slayton move, that has been good so far. That kid has looked great, but Cora has made a few errors. I know yesterday in particular, they struggled a little bit with some decision making, but he did make a clutch sub 2 days ago because we're covering like 3 games right now.
We are.
2 days ago, Valdez had been an easy out all night. He goes with Pablo Reyes, who gets a good hit, and that set up the inning for the Red Sox to come back and win it. But disaster scenario last night, blowing it in the 10th, and then today the Valdez move was the right one, I'd say. They took advantage of that. He hit a bomb, and that really sealed the deal for the Sox. So as a grade, I'll give him a B.
I'm giving him a C minus, and the reason I am is because I see a guy that overthinks things at times or doesn't do enough. And the reason I'm going to go with this is because he knew flat out Kenley Jansen was not available last night because he's out of shape and he has a bad back.
Yeah.
That is a big, huge problem, a $16 million problem that you have from this guy who can't do his job. It's unacceptable. You have
Yeah,
all the tools. You have everything in Resourceville when you're a major league baseball player and professional athlete. If your back's tight, go sit in the frickin' jacuzzi, dude. Like, come on. Go have a yoga class with Tristan Casas. He'll get your back on straight. He will. So that right there peed me off last night. Peed me off because I don't care if you're on the road and you don't have to have your closer. You don't put your closer into these situations. Well, you know what? To have what you did with Joely Rodriguez last night and not have Martin at least there for protection when you flat out knew that Kenley Jansen was not going to be there is a disgrace. It was being unprepared. not knowing the situation of where you're heading into. That's what's got to change. And that's why sometimes I get very fired up about the manager of who Alex Cora is. I think he's very overrated as a manager because in 2018 he won a championship. Sometimes that sets you up to fail because you already have risen to that expectation early on. I think ever since, if you take out 2018, it's been a mediocre sample size of Cora. I think he's liked by players. I think he has that language barrier that's really good with everything there. But when it comes to these decision-making things, whether it's from him or from high above, from the managerial side of things, it concerns me. It does. And that was the biggest takeaway from me last night because that was a game you had. You had it in the bag. You should be 3-1. I don't want to sound like a selfish, spoiled Boston sports fan, but you should be going to Oakland right now 3-1. You should be. And that right there is unacceptable. And I don't want to say I want to blame Cora for all of this. Kenley Jansen deserves number one blame on this as well. He is a guy that was a tradable candidate in this offseason. A guy that I don't know if he wants to be here. I don't know about you, Brendan. I don't think Kenley Jansen wants to be here in Boston. I don't. Because I don't think he believes in what this team is. And I can kind of understand that. But what we saw last night, if that's going to be your trend for 2024, I'm going to put my remote and I'm going to turn the off button and stop getting frustrated with it because that was downright unacceptable for fans last night to witness. Rant over.
No worries, Nick. Red Sox are going into Oakland. I'm hoping for a sweep. It's time to get some damage done. New York swept Houston. We got it. We got a big race over here. There's urgency on the Red Sox. Get it done. Get it done. They got to go on to a big start.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say there's no excuse that you don't get 3 wins. There's none. If you don't get 3 wins, I will not smile for a week. Just letting you know.
Awesome. That I agree, Nick. We got to get at least 3. Got to sweep.
So Tanner Houck will go up tomorrow night for Oakland. We will look forward to previewing that whole outing tomorrow before the game begins. Again, our theme that we're trying to do here for the early beginnings of the season is to cover at least the preview of the game, and we'll talk about it next day so everybody is on the same page and can still get a good night's sleep. The two of us need as much rest as we can. It's going to be one of those seasons, Brendan.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it here. We hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. We will see you to talk more about the upcoming series against the A's real soon. See ya.